Guys, my bike got stolen. And it's really bad, right? But at the same time, it became the most inspirational moment for this week because I suddenly realized that all the training, the mental training I had in previous years, actually paying off. Because I saw the person still in my possession at the same time, not able to steal the best part of me. Welcome to INSPIRO, your cozy virtual cafe, providing a quick dose of daily inspiration. As always, we're in this fantastic cafe with all the voices and noises just to make you calm and cozy, giving you an impression that you're sitting right nearby me, talking about things that really matters. And we're doing the quick episode today about one thing that happened to me and one tiny action that you can take tonight. So imagine that I'm waking up on Sunday and checking my phone. And on the phone, there is one message from my surveillance camera. And then when I open that message, it says that something happened. I checked it out and I saw a man coming closer to my property, checking out my electrical bike, and calmly taking it off and riding away. What? Can you do that? You can just come walk around and take things from others. That's not fair. And I got so angry and so annoyed about what have happened because the bike cost lots of money, right? But that's my first emotion. And that's fair. I think everyone will feel something like that. But at the same time, I remembered something very important because one thing that my bike got stolen, another thing, my balance and my calmness stolen too. And I don't want it to happen. So what I've done, I remembered the connection between the fact, emotions, the fact, conclusion, the story we have in our head, emotions, action, and result. So first is the fact the bike is stolen. And then I draw the conclusion in my head that he did it because he's a bad person, taking my bike, and it's so unfair. I worked for that bike and I paid for it. And don't understand me wrongly. It's a bad thing. Shouldn't happen. And then my emotions came, the anger, and then the action. I got very like skeptical to people around me, looking around, saying, "Oh, maybe you are the person that took my bike, or maybe you're the person that will take something else from me." And the result, I almost lost something that I really value in myself. So I decided to change that. So I decided to change that conclusion in my head, which I learned to do. So I needed to create a space there. So the first thing I did, I tried to imagine that that person, like something funny, because the humor always helps, right? So I tried to imagine that that person actually had a really big stomach problems, and he needed to go home and come back home as fast as possible. Otherwise, it will be a bad result. And that was the only solution. I know it's ridiculous. I know, but it somehow helped me to think differently. So I created a space in my head and I started thinking about more reasonable conclusion in my head. So the conclusion I draw after some time is that, wow, I'm grateful. Not grateful for someone taking my bike, but I'm grateful for the lesson. I'm grateful for the warning because that could actually prevent for something really bad happening. And that makes me feel stronger. And based on that, I take much stronger actions. Like, for example, informing everyone around the neighborhood and you about that things can happen. Remind you about being careful, locking your bike like I didn't do. And I also have a much better routine now to when we go to bed, lock bikes, lock the door, check the door, and also buy a special poster saying that we have a camera, don't even try. Wow, that gave me a totally different feeling and totally different action. And the result is that I'm not skeptical to people around me. I still have faith and trust in people. But at the same time, I took real good actions to ensure that will not happen again. Guys, that's beautiful. That's a power of your minds right there that you can use. And I want you to try that. Let's call it the tiny action. Let's call it the power switch or the brain switch. So in this case, try to remember one thing that happened with you that is embarrassing, that you really don't want to think about, but just remember that and try to look at it as from the camera perspective, from the lens, that's something you can just describe as a fact. And then think about emotion. Now think about the conclusion that you draw in your head when that happened. When you've done with that, try to change that. Try to change the conclusion to something more stronger, like something more positive in sense that makes you stronger, not make you weaker. Something that gives you more, positive emotions. And when you do that, just try to follow up how it changes your feelings. And you will realize that it actually fantastic, powerful tool. You will suddenly feel differently. You will suddenly feel, empowering. And your actions will be also different. Also much more stronger and empowering for your future life. And the result will be fantastic. Guys, try that at home and you'll be blown away by the result. Thank you for joining me here at INSPIRO, your cozy virtual cafe, providing a quick dose of daily inspiration. And one last thing, don't forget to smile. And remember to keep your heart unlocked while your bicycle locked. Have a beautiful day and live a life filled with inspiration. Bye for now.